Hi guys, my name is Alison and welcome to my channel. If you guys are interested with fashion, beauty, lifestyle, foundation review, and hauls, make sure you guys click that subscribe button down below and also click that ring bell button so that you get notification whenever I upload a new video. So today for this video, we are trying on this Chanel foundation. This is a pretty new launch foundation from Chanel. So if you guys are interested how this work on my oily texture, acne prone skin, then let's keep on watching. Before starting with the wear test, I'm gonna get into the details of what this foundation claims to be. So I did purchase this foundation at Nordstrom, but now I'm just gonna look up to the Chanel website and see what it claims to be. So first of all, this is the Ultra Latent Ultrawear All Day Comfort Flawless Finish Foundation. It is retails for $60 and it comes in 1.0 fluid ounce, which is a typical foundation that it comes in. So this foundation, it does come in 30 shades and I am in the shade B20. So this product is a long wearing full coverage foundation, provides 24 hours wear with a flawless matte finish. The lightweight foundation glides onto your skin for all day comfort and a perfect looking complexion. So also this foundation is a luminous perfection soft focus powder. The formula corrects visible imperfection and illuminates the complexion for the look of smooth, even skin. So that's the claim that this foundation it would gives you the finish. And also a little details on how to apply this foundation is using a finger or foundation brush. Apply the formula to face working from the inside to outward. Build coverage as needed. So usually a lot of foundation it claims to be using with your fingers or using with the brush, but it's just really your own preference because a lot of foundation it does apply very nice with the coverage with the brush, but sometimes it does give me a strike mark, and with a finger I just had the feeling like using your finger blend in your foundation and then it doesn't blend well. So I always go with the sponge that I like to use. So I know there's some conflict of people saying, oh, you're using a sponge, but then this foundation it claims to be using a finger or using a brush as it's claimed to be, but it really just your own preference. Maybe next time I can try on in the camera and see how it works with the finger or the brush, how I like it. If not, I'm just going with my usual method way, but because I know what I like on the foundation application and what it works well on my texture skin and my face, so it's just really your own preference. You don't have to follow me, but this is just like the way that I like to use with the application to apply the foundation. So let's get into a little bit more about this foundation. So this line is a new line, Ultra Latent, and I know they come out with a velvet version, which is what it should look like with this bottle. And a lot of people that I see on the comments comment with the black bottle is better than the previous version. So this is the one that I have in their old version. This is the Perfection Lumiere Velvet. It has an SPF 15, so I still love this one. I have this in the shade B30. If you guys like a more light finish everyday makeup look, then you guys can try the black bottle of this line, the Ultra Latin line. So I just want to let you guys out there, there's another version of this foundation, but it's more of a lightweight everyday makeup look finish in a velvet finish, I would say. But this time I go with the foundation because I want to see how the coverage and how it works, because I already have something similar in the previous version. So for your reference, I did get this foundation in the shade B20. And now let's get into this foundation bottles review. Okay, let's get into the details of this foundation today. So this bottle, this time of the year, they do a frosty glass bottle and with the matte finish of the cap, and on top is the same. It has the Chanel logo, and when you open the cap, it does come with the pump. So to prep the face before the foundation application, I'm gonna do a light layer of the background eye brightener. So this is what it looks like. I already applied it on top, and as you guys can see, my face is a little pinky rosy, lighter than what my neck color is. It's because today I'm using a different SPF. So this is a Your Private Formula UV Perfect SPF 40. This is what I'm using. I've been having this bottle for about 4 to 6 months, but I haven't really get to use it because it does change the color of your face and your neck color. So if I'm doing like a heavy foundation on top, I'll be using this because I'll be sure that it will cover up this light color underneath. Okay, moving on to the primer. Today I'll be using my Ole Harrison Banana Bright Face Primer. So this is what the color it looks like with the primer. I'm just gonna warm it up on my fingers. and applied it on top of the face. Okay, I'm gonna shake this bottle and let's see how it looks like. This is one pump of the foundation. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna apply this foundation with my e.l.f. sponge, but the person who talked to me about this foundation at Nordstrom, she said she liked to use with a brush. It gives you more coverage, but it's just all your personal preference. I like to apply my foundation with the sponge. If it's a tinted moisturizer, then I would go with the brush because it's more of a light coverage and it's a tinted moisturizer, so it's easy to blend out. Okay, so this is one light layer on this side of the face. It's looking very natural finish, and it does dries down really fast. So you really have to like blend it in while you apply it onto your face. So comparing on this side, I have more blemishes, so later on you guys can see how it covers on this side. But right now this side is looking very skin-like. I love the natural finish coverage on it. Now I'm gonna just apply it on this side of the face. So this side is what it looks like after using a half pump of the foundation. It does cover up very nicely on the blemishes that I have. There's still a little picking through because this is the active acne that I'm having, and the darkness on the acne is like covered up pretty much. So I would say the coverage on this foundation is pretty good. A very little that you use, it cover up your face. It's very easy to blend, and it dries down fast, so you really have to work into the foundation. Make sure you blend it well because it does dries down. So I feel like I can just go with the one pump of the foundation to cover up the whole face. But I'm just gonna add a little on this side of the face and see if it's buildable. So I'm just gonna get like a really small foundation and tap it on to the spot that I need coverage. So it does cover up my blemishes a little bit more, and it is buildable. It doesn't give you like any cakiness on it, or it didn't get into the acne that makes it look dry. So first impression, when it applies, I really like this foundation. I like how it blends, how it sits on top of the face. It's very comfortable, breathable. You don't feel like you have any foundation on top. And also it dries down very like a semi-matte finish. It kind of blurs out my pores on the center of my face. It looks a lot smoother, and it balances out my complexion on the face. So now I really like this foundation, from application to how it dries down to how it feels on top of the face. So let's check in now. It's 2:20. So this is when we first apply this foundation on the face, and I'm gonna finish off the rest of the makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, so the makeup is done, and I took about 30 minutes to finish up my whole makeup look, and this foundation still looks the same. Everything else blends very nicely on top of the face. I'm loving everything that I used today. Also, this foundation, it does give me that very healthy, smooth out looking, even though I have all the makeup on top of the face. So I did set this makeup with the Chanel Natural Finish Loose Powder. This is something that I already have. I did put this in my Project Pan video on the last update. So I think this powder and the foundation that I use, it does combine very well, and it sets very nicely, and it doesn't have any cakeiness because with everything that layer on top, the foundation sometimes it tends to get heavy and it doesn't blend well with other stuff that I use on top. But this one, I don't have issue on it. I love the finish of this foundation. So now I'm gonna go on and about, and I'm gonna check back in on the midday, about 3 to 4 hours, and then at the end of the day I'm gonna give you guys my final thoughts on this foundation. Okay guys, so I'm back for the final check-in. Now the time is 10:45, which means I've been wearing this foundation for about 8 hours and 30 minutes. This is how it looks like. Sorry I forgot to check in the midday because I was out and about. I was walking my dog at the park, and we took him a shower, we shredded him, so there's a lot going on in the afternoon time. So this is what it looks like after an 8.5 hours of foundation wear. So I have to say, during the day, I love this foundation. It looks very like blur out your skin. It makes your skin look very nice. It looks like perfect. It looks better than my skin, honestly. And with the 4 hours mark, I check in the mirror, I still look very nice. And about like 6 to 7 hours, I start to get oily, and after dinner time I get a little oilier than what it was at the 4 hours mark. So this is pretty oily, but I can still handle this because I do have a lot of foundation that it gets me oily, because I do have oily skin, and usually I start getting oily at the 4 hours mark. But now that with this foundation, I think it wears longer on my face, it starts to get oily in the 6 to 7 hours mark. So this is what it looks like after the 8.5 hours wear on the face. It still looks very blurry on the center of my face, and I don't have any issues, no like foundation fading away, or it just make it look like foundation it cracks when it fades. It just looks a little dewy finish. That's all I can say. So now what I'm gonna do, usually if I get very oily during the day, I usually don't touch up, or if I do, I would just use a toilet paper towel to kind of pat off the excess oil. But now that I'm in my beauty room, I just use my sponge, and I'm just gonna tap the excess oil, and you guys can see it just takes out the oil right away. And on this side again, I tap it off, the oil just goes away. So now it looks like a fresh new foundation, and without the oil on top. So honestly, after doing this step, I don't know how long this foundation can be last for. But if you do get oily, just use your kitchen towel or any sponge to take off the excess oil, and now you're good to go. It just looks like a new fresh foundation on. Nothing was taken off with the foundation. I do really like this foundation, and if you guys know me, you guys watch my foundation review, I don't say that all the time. And most of the reviews you see me, I'm like, I don't think this would worth the price, or I don't think the finish that it would have something better than what I have in my collection. But this time, this foundation, it really did a very amazing job. It blurs out your imperfection, and it just holds up very nicely on my oily texture skin. So I really like this. I know it's a pretty pricey foundation because it's a high-end product, it's from Chanel, but with a lot of Chanel product that I tried before, they are very nice, but you really have to adjust the price, because with this product of the foundation, does it really worth you paying $60, or do you have something that it works better in your collection? But at this point, I think this foundation, it did so good on my skin, and I don't think so far the foundation I've tried recently, I don't think anything can beat this. But again, this is my personal opinion because I have texture, oily, acne prone skin, and it really, foundation works differently on everyone's skin texture or skin tone. So this is just my personal opinion that the Chanel foundation, it really outdid it, and it could be compared to my Stay Naked Urban Decay foundation. I would say with this foundation, the one thing I really like it because it's non-transferable. If you're wearing a white t-shirt, if you just go over your head with the t-shirt, it doesn't transfer with this foundation. So this is like a long-lasting matte, semi-matte foundation that it does not transfer anywhere else. Whereas this foundation, it just gives you a very nice, smooth out skin finish. Looks like my skin, but better. And also this, it lasts very nice on top of my face for, I'll say, 5 hours, and it start getting a little oily at the 7 hours mark. So this foundation is something that I want to look for more of an everyday makeup look. I know the price range is hard to adjust for everyday makeup look, but for me, I'm really picky about foundation, my base, my concealer. So this will be something that I will consider to use on my everyday makeup look, because I want something that it looks really blur out and it gives me coverage, since I have a lot of acne scar and dark spot. So this really helps to cover up those areas that I needed to coverage. And the last point that I want to touch on is it feels very lightweight on my skin. I don't feel I have a foundation on top. And with this, I would say this like a medium coverage. With this medium coverage, if you don't feel anything on top of the skin, which is a really nice texture of foundation, and also works throughout the whole day, then I would just choose this foundation over any other foundation that I have for now. So this is my personal opinion. I hope this review does help you guys out to pick up this foundation or not. Or if you guys try out this foundation and with different type of skin tone or skin texture, let us know in the comments down below how you like this foundation or how you would wear it under with what kind of products, because everyone's skin work differently, and we can share your opinion on this little community here. I hope you guys enjoy watching this video. If you guys do like this video and find it helpful, please give me a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe down below. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!